Today we're going to talk about NRG, because, as you might remember, last year I made a couple videos about NRG and their dreadful attack sides on some of these maps that looked horrendous. Well, they played their first game against Stage 2 against 100 Thieves, and it didn't go great. So, do NRG need some help? Well, potentially they do, and if you need help with your Valorant skills as well, then go to the sponsor of today's video, which is the Gosu Academy. And now is a great time to join the Gosu Academy because there are multiple ways to join the Gosu Academy that might better suit what fits you. Because if you don't potentially have a lot of time on your hands, then maybe the Coach 10-man's version of the Academy would be better for you, right? Where it's just straight in, you know, you're playing, you're getting some coaching. That might be more preferable if you don't have a lot of time to commit to the rest of the Academy. But if you do have a bit more time, you're sitting there, you're not doing much, well then maybe the full Gosu Academy would be more for your style, where you can just get a little bit more teaching, a little bit more coaching. And not only that, you can get a month for free in the link in the description or the pinned comment to test out the Gosu Academy for yourself and see if it's something that you actually want to do. But I do genuinely highly recommend going to the Gosu Academy. I've done classes for them before for some of their boot camps. I know that the community is a great place to be in. And if you are genuinely serious about, trying to actually get better at Valorant and, trying to break that glass ceiling that you've been, struggling with for quite some time, well, the Gosu Academy might be the thing that finally puts you over that edge and makes you a better player, and you can join a really nice community as well. So go and join the Gosu Academy in the link in the pinned comment or in the description, and thank you for Gosu Academy for sponsoring the video. Okay, so let's talk about NRG, and there are a couple caveats I want to point out first before, we dive too deep into it. One is that NRG, don't conflate this with last year. Last year, NRG was a clown show. This version of NRG against 100 Thieves was not great, but it wasn't a clown show. So just, let's get that straight. Second thing is, 100 Thieves played very well. Third thing is, I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, Ethan's IGLing again. It must be an Ethan IGL problem. Well, you're actually going to see in this video that quite a few of the things I think aren't on Ethan necessarily at all, right? And it's kind of a team-wide issue. I would say it's more of like a team-wide comms issue, understanding of the round from, multiple perspectives, and not just on Ethan, right? So keep that in mind as well. But now let's take a look at the very first round, the pistol round.
Looking at a bind opening here in this series. 100 Thieves' choice. Yeah, this is aggro as anything. They're trying to skirmish nice and early. Just 4 players just trying to at least see if they can do a bit more damage than the nade was tossed in and eventually conceding that.
Okay, so we're going to pause it there and we're going to take a look at this round, right? So straight away, 100 Thieves, they go for the super aggro, 4 down B long. They're coming in, hot. The thing is, the Fade Haunt, only reveals 3 of them, right? EU actually doesn't get revealed, as we can see just here. There's 3 of them that revealed, but not 4. And I think that this is important for, not flaming them necessarily in a bad way. Because, again, if you saw 4 people here, after this skirmish ends, you would think just sprint away, which they don't. And I know that some people would think, why didn't they sprint away? So we're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because, again, EU, he might come up on their maps here, right? I'm not quite sure. 4 people might be on their map here. I don't know, but it's tough to tell, of course. So we're just going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they only think that 3 people are there. However, the one that dies is Cryo. And I think that that does matter as well for what they do next, because NRG's reaction in this round is very, very slow, right? You would think after seeing a play like that, you would react fast. But you might say, oh, well, they've got a Yoru, so he can't really react fast because the Yoru can TP across the map and they'll be fine, 100 Thieves. But the Yoru died, so they can't do that, right? So that means that they are in some trouble. And that is what 100 Thieves wanted to do, right? Like, there is a TP across here for Cryo, but Cryo dies, so obviously it goes. So whatever, right? And this first part is fine, right? They're just holding for this. They go 1 for 1. It's okay. What I would say, though, is we are actually going to get a KO knife in towards Hooker here, as you'll see. So KO knife lands just there. Doesn't scan anyone, of course. Right? So they should know that Hooker is free at this point, particularly after it's gone silent. Because if anyone was in this spot, they probably would have come around this angle. They would have shown themselves when that gunfight was either going on, thinking that the rest of their team was probably going to keep pushing. But they don't. So they should know that this is clear. But this is the thing that I'm talking about. The reaction is slow from kind of everyone. This is the thing about it not just being Ethan. The reaction is slow by everyone, right? They aren't just going to sprint to A and go to the A site. Mada is very slow here, thinking that someone could be Hooker, which again, they know that 3 people have been B long. I don't understand what setup 100 Thieves would be doing here where someone is also in Hooker. It would be extremely strange, right? And Mada should know he's got the timing, and the KO knife said that no one was in Hooker, right? Also, though, Scuba isn't taking any aggressive timings, right? And again, it's one of those things where maybe he thinks, you know, the Yoru is a problem, but you see, like, he's waiting, like, 100 Thieves are kind of getting to almost, like, full reset mode before we've done anything, right? And again, we killed the Yoru, right? I can understand if you were a bit scared if the Yoru was alive and, you know, he could have TP'd back across. I can understand that, but instead we're super, super slow here to react, and it kind of cost us this round.
Even NRG still working their way slowly down.
And he's going to be the lone player to try and hold them back. It's a good first shot from him. Still more players creeping up past that line, and doubt creeping into the back of the minds, potentially, these 100 Thieves players, but they could take a timing and take it well, potentially there, but the smokes will drop down, and with damage done to Som, Plant, going to be stuck. Ethan, acknowledgement there, but Som is just catching a bullet to the dome. EU finding it. Leaves it just out of Ethan and Mada. Mada's just absolutely nowhere near. Ethan's trying to make a play, trying to hold on for anything. This is a flag that needs to occur on a timely manner, but Mada has got to walk from this point on. It's cautious. 100 Thieves don't want to overextend. And here's the backstab. Mada just trying to lurk from behind. He can't get it with the easy shots. 100 Thieves. They double up and they dismiss entirely.
Okay, let's skip ahead to round number 5 here. Kind of a crucial buy round early in the half. And the way it starts off for NRG is just kind of inexcusable.
Looking at these rounds, Mada's just going to be heavy prio over towards Showers. Look at that. Just taking it alone. He's got no backup when he does that, but...
Showers crunch.
Showers crunch, yeah, they hear that pressure, and then they see the play. There it is. Just jump onto the chance.
So this is the only part of this round that we're going to take a look at, because, I mean, again, this just should not be happening in 2025 at this level, right? Like, this just shouldn't be happening. A Showers crunch can't be that easy, especially when you, like... I'm sure any of you who can remember 100 Thieves on bind, you know, what do you think? You think aggro re-clears of space, right? That happened throughout this entire game, right? That's how 100 Thieves play, right? They go for big team aggro re-clears. So the fact that you have one guy on his own going into shower, grabbing an ult orb, right? Signaling, hey, I'm here. You know exactly where I am. I'm getting this ult orb on his own, whilst we have no one looking this way, so we have no idea what's going on towards long and whether they are, you know, aggroing, pushing the TP or not. I mean, that just can't happen. It just, like, this cannot happen. Like, it really can't. Like, it is kind of inexcusable for that to happen. I mean, that's really, really quite poor. Not just in general, yes, but also against the specific opponent that you're playing against. You should know that this is right down their street, that they are going to be looking to do those kinds of things all the time. Okay, now let's skip ahead to round number 7 here, and in this one we're going to get this Viper Spit down short. Now, everyone's seen this Viper Spit. It happens all the time. We again get these two going towards Showers. Showers crunch, Showers crunch. You know, anyone watching this? No? Showers crunch? Possible? Maybe? It doesn't happen this time for 100 Thieves. Probably is less likely to happen when your Viper has a pit here on short. But either way, what we're going to see now is just like one of, like, I've seen quite a few teams do this, so it's not just NRG, but like just looking clueless against that Viper's Pit, right? Viper's Pit down short, and it's like, what do we do? They pick up the Viper's Pit themselves, right? And just remember, they just got the Viper's Pit themselves. Very common counter to this is just Viper Spitting this, right? And just saying, ignoring this, basically. You know, try and get the spike down here, and then, you know, just play with not much control, you know, but essentially just, you know, defend the Viper at that point. You just try and, you know, play protect on the Viper, and that's what you do. And that's how some teams deal with this when they have their own Viper Spit, which NRG now do. But instead, we're just going to be walking around the map again. Yeah, this guy was left on his own. Showers crunch, Showers crunch. Remember, 2 rounds ago, this is how you died. Okay, there was multiple opportunities there. Maybe this guy's in a lot of trouble again, but okay, this time not so much. And now they're gonna put, you know, they're gonna send a little bit of pressure here over towards B. Right, KO Knife's gonna come in, Fade Prowler's gonna come in. Okay, we're sending a little bit of pressure. We're flashing here, but we are always gonna come back to this, right? To these two. The thing is that they don't do is they don't send any smokes here. Right, so as soon as they don't send any smokes here, you see Cryo does start to rotate, but they didn't send any smokes, so yeah, they're not going B. Right, there's no way they're going B. because they would have put a smoke there. Or even just, you know, a little bit of pressure. You know, once you KO knifed and saw no one, you know, smoking this off. Right? As if you are walking down here. And you could feasibly be, you know, just in this spot. Right? Just little things like that. We don't do it. So now, 100 Thieves, yeah, they pretty much know or have a good idea this is going to be an A hit. And, you know, we're having to walk back here, of course, because the Viper will hear us if we run. Right? So that's the other problem, that we're having to walk back here. A fourth player is now coming across, because, again, you've got no smokes there. And now there's 23 seconds left. And now they're just going to run into this pit.
To take place, it's going to be bloody. Bit of a skirmish to take place, and there with a decay damage, it's all done and said there with a rifle. Tiffany's players down, Asuna. He steps forwards, wants to defend this one right at the choke point, and time fully against them now. Spike irretrievable, NRG for all that working.
And now let's finish with the last round here on Bind before we get over to Sunset. And again, this one, I don't understand this one at all.
Beacon down.
Last round to get something done at all. That's a lot of body spotted. Cryo. Stick around for now, but the nade is going to be cleared them out. Snakebite to respond. No quick follow-up. Suppression's there. So tucking himself there. He's got a showstopper. Here in a scurry of it! And there's a target acquired. It's just a 1-for-1 though. Xander instant with the reposition.
Well played by Mada there to put his body on the line, actually.
Tanking it here. Kess has got a nose in. Playing with that one. Xander's tucking close just in case it's in the anti-flash position, but Som...
Okay, so there's nothing particularly wrong with what's going on right now. I just want you to keep in mind where NRG have been in this round, right? So they go 4 down B long. They got Scuba over towards Shower. Right, we're going to go back and forth. We're going to get a kill with the Razor. We're going to get another one-on-one here in a second, right? Kess, I mean, Scuba takes an aggressive timing, which, again, you know, I was complaining that he didn't do that in the first round. He does in this round. He doesn't manage to win it. Whatever, right? But we end up back in a 3v3, right? So there we go. We're back in a 3v3. What happens now is kind of unbelievable coming from someone who's played so much smokes like Som.
Just squaring up and taking these challenges. Flash overhead. EU feels that heat now coming his way. Nade overhead, but they haven't cleared out this area, and it's not even being watched for. Cryo just delivering death from above. Position's not accounted for. NRG.
Yeah, this is just unbelievable. And you might think, oh, maybe he only had 2 smokes. Nope, he had 3 smokes. Som has 3 smokes in this round, right? Again, we can rewind the round. At no point, literally at no point, do they ever even look towards Hooker. So why on earth? We send no util there. We send nothing there. Why on earth are we not smoking? What? I mean, just like, what? I mean, even someone in theory could have walked all the way down short in the time it's taken us to do this and then ended up here. Right? That could have happened in this round because Scuba was only in Shower. Like, what? And we sit with a smoke this round. Like, Som has a smoke left. I mean, even their scaling here as they get onto the site, right? They haven't smoked elbow. Like, you would think with these smokes, like, I don't know, man. What are we doing? I mean, look, like, Ethan just runs across here. There could be someone in elbow as well that he just dies to. I mean, what on earth is going on here? What on earth are they doing? I don't know. I can't explain this one at all because, again, you would think, like, someone who's played smokes as much as Som, I honestly don't get it. I just don't get it. Just don't understand it at all. Well, let's move to Sunset. Okay, let's move to Sunset, and we're going to start with round number 2 here. And in this one, NRG decide to force. Now, they are doing the Gen G Viper wall in this round. They don't really love this wall. Don't think it's that great. But at least you get to clear all of B main, right? Right?
There is only one trip that they have to run into, though. Kess still has the other one in his hand.
Cryo. This is aggro. He's got a rifle too.
They're not clearing it.
Doesn't even realize that he's up against the eco, but there it is. Reveals it, and he's already out of there. There's a bomb into the box. It's 2 ripped away. All the way forwards and through. Kess just needs to deny this chance. TP forwards. Seemingly aware of the fact he needs some help, and he needs it now. EU is going to be providing that, supporting it from the side.
So yeah, this Viper wall, I mean, its whole job is that you get to clear all of B main. You know what? What else? It's not just bad. Obviously, they don't clear B main, But actually, we drop the wall as we swing out here. But we've got stingers, right? Like, imagine if Cryo was, like, here with a rifle against a stinger and you've just dropped the wall as we're swinging around this. Like, even that, I think, is a bit strange, right? Because, I mean, if he is here with an outlaw or, you know, a vandal, and, you know, Cryo is, like, playing this angle instead, like, I don't even understand. Why are we dropping the wall then? We've got stingers. We don't want this fight, right? We don't want the long range fight. You know, we want to clear all this out, you know, probably get to both sides of this and then try and come out of here, you know, with a shock dart and our neon running in and all that. Obviously, it's bad. They don't clear this box when they have a wall that's literal whole job is that you get to clear that box for free. Like, oh dear. I mean, that is rough, isn't it? That is, yeah, pretty rough from NRG there. Okay, now let's skip ahead to round number 7, which again, kind of like that first round, is just like not maybe understanding the round that we are in.
Looking kind of unleashed on Duelist.
Yeah, round like that took almost everything here. Overdrive from Asuna. Hunter's Fury to supplement and assist. Just putting them into the blender. NRG maintain that composure, but again, not aware of that gap and that timing that Xander just jumps.
Okay, so let's talk about this one, right? They're just going to get completely caught off, obviously, by the aggro, the Silver ult. They're not expecting it. You know, we're getting ulted. We all kind of fall down. We all die, right? It doesn't go great. Like, okay, right, whatever. The part that I find it a bit confusing here is Matter, right? Because again, it's just like a slow reaction to do anything from Matter there. Like you'll see what I mean here, right? So our call here is obviously we're gonna insert Matter here with the smoke, you know, neon wall, gravnet, dart, right? And you're gonna come up into elbow and insert yourself. But then when this happens, right, and you like neon ulted, Silver ulted, it's like, whoa, what's going on? Like he reacts as if nothing is happening. You know, like there's no reaction here at all. There's no reaction of like, hey, I'm gonna try and, you know, sprint up to the Silver and you know, and try and kill him. There's no reaction of, you know, oh, probably this is like a pinch. Let me look back here and, you know, and maybe see if that's going on. There's kind of just I don't know. It's just a little bit strange. You know, either you think like, and 100 Thieves, they I think, you know, are kind of maybe taken a bit off guard by Matter, you know, doing this wall and potentially being up here because they play it quite cautiously, these two, right? Whereas I'm sure, you know, the majority of the time, you know, they're looking to, you know, get quite aggressive here. But they even one-way this, right? Which is probably a bit of a mistake. But, you know, they play it quite cautiously because of Matter, I think, here as well. So actually, maybe he would have been caught off if he, you know, did try and go super aggressive. But the fact, like, but you know what I mean? Like, look at him here. He's just staring at his own team's smoke. Whilst we're getting destroyed here. And he plays it like a very normal round is going on behind him, when obviously anything but is happening. But forget all of that even if you want, because a couple rounds later, 100 Thieves have a Silver ult online, and NRG, guess what happens?
Plan has gone wrong.
Yeah, and the mid default looks horrible, honestly.
Oh, just
well,
you're thinking there's going to be some help for it. That's a Hunter's Fury and a scan across the board. And just trying to jump away, out of the way a bit, EU.
So yeah, exact same play. We do deal with it maybe slightly better there overall, but not much better, to be honest. And that is the exact same play from 100 Thieves. But then I think they saved the worst for last, which is round 12 of their attack side on Sunset. Because I think this one is just simply like, I mean, it just can't happen at this level, where I think Som just doesn't either understand or get the call. Right, because what they're going to do in this one, actually, it goes pretty well for them. They're going to go for a mid-A split, right? So these guys, they've changed their Viper wall. It's going in mid. These guys are going to run up mid, and then they're going to come towards A, and these guys obviously are coming towards A as well. But just take a look here at what happens. Because, again, as I say, they managed to get the first kill there from Matter. Great start, right? They're then coming in towards A. You know, here we go. We're coming up. Oh, Matter then kills Cryo as well. It's a 5v3. But you know what goes wrong for them in this round? Som has walled his team off. They can't come this way. And let me explain how you know, like, for 100% certain that Som is in the wrong here, right? Because it's because of the smoke that Ethan does, right? So if we just play the round forward again here, right? You've got these three coming up here. So the we smoked this off first, right? So clearly we want to come in this way, right? We don't want to go elbow. We want to go in this way. And then take a look at Ethan's second smoke here, right? So Ethan then is going to smoke this off. Well, that doesn't make any sense with this, right? Well, we're smoking ourselves off from the site and walling ourselves off from getting this way? Huh? And that also means Som then ults, but now he's smoked off from the site because his team wasn't going to do that. And again, this is what I mean. Like, this is just kind of inexcusable, right? The idea almost certainly here is to pinch on anyone kind of, you know, in this area. Or at least that's what Ethan's thinking. And Ethan smoked for that round. And everyone else seems to kind of be in that round. But our deadlock is saying, we're not doing that round, guys. No, we are not doing that round. And this ends up costing them big time. Because watch, it's a 5v3 now. We missed the deadlock ult because we're smoked off, so we can't see anyone, right? But more than that, now these guys have to come this way, and that gives Asuna the chance to win this round.
It's been cleared. Matter. He's forwards, man. Tip of the spear for his team. Not just for show, still. Asuna is here, and that stun connects. And adjustment of the aim is beautiful. Sublime work. Asuna just denying any chance, denying any opportunity. Him and Xander side by side. Puts it at 10-2 with a